Hello and welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out Show. I'm Stu Cowan of the Gazette, joined by my regular partners here, former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champs, Chris Nilan and Rick Green. Well, guys, I know nutrition has changed probably a lot from the days you guys were playing. The Canadiens have professional chefs now preparing food for the players. Lane Hudson told me he basically doesn't have to do any groceries. There's enough food provided by the team. Today, Knuckles, they eat a lot of chicken, a lot of salmon, a lot of pasta. What was your preferred game day meal back when you were playing?
You know, I ate pasta and chicken. I ate a lot of that. I didn't eat steak a lot the day of, very rarely, but I would the day before. You know, Patrick Waugh used to eat at McDonald's, and it worked out pretty good for him. So, you know, I go back to, and I think Rick will remember this, near the end of the season when that whole Patrick thing was going on with McDonald's and the cat got out of the bag. Serge brought in a nutritionist. We're at Marriott Marquis in Times Square, and we're in the ballroom. It's the night before a game, and he brought this nutritionist in, and the guy was overweight. His belly was hanging over his goddamn belt, and he's up there telling us how to eat. He's got the board. He's showing us eat this. So said the day of the game, guys are asking, what should we eat the day of the game? Well, you should eat a lot in the morning, have pancakes, eggs, whatever. Next morning, I get up and I ate pancakes, everything, eggs. I'm with Cabo. I'm eating. And I got on this ice that night, Madison Square Garden. I couldn't move. I felt so, like, sluggish. I'm like, oh. You know, I had lunch, too. I had, I don't know, pasta, whatever else. I just felt terrible. I'm like, that's it for me. I said, I'm not following that protocol at all. And I went back to doing what I normally did. So that night where I felt so bad, I just went out and got in a fight so I could rest 5 minutes in the only box.
Rick, did you have a favorite pregame meal or anything like that?
It would depend. So once in a while, I would, depending on the schedule. A nice steak would do the job for me, keep me fairly full, and then you got back into the pasta and whatever. Just the worst thing can happen is you feel full when you're going to start the game, because that doesn't work, and I have to laugh about my memory of Chile. We would have our penalty killing meeting, and we'd be looking around and, where's Chelly? No, can't find him. So I know where he is. So I go into Eddie Palchak's little hole that he had underneath the stands, and Chelly would be sitting there with like 3 hot dogs and a bag of chips. And that was his routine, that he would eat that stuff. And I don't know for the life of me how he's able to do it, but that was Chelly.
I think that was Wayne Gretzky's pregame meal too, was hot dogs and a Coke. Rick, you played for a long time and then you coached for a long time. So you must have seen an evolution in the way nutrition works and how teams now have chefs who prepare food for them and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they got lots of options available, and really it's comes down to the individual. Sometimes the guys, they feel that they're better off eating pasta, better off eating chicken, better whatever. They have every opportunity to do what they need to do to perform at their best, and they're well taken care of. They take that crutch out of the picture that they haven't been properly fed or they haven't been properly prepared to play their best, and it's working because you got a lot of guys that are great players, and whatever they need to eat. They're quite aware of what they need to do, and that allows them to perform at their best because a lot of great players out there.
Knuckles, I imagine guys are starving by the end of a game. I imagine it was probably the same with you. You see guys today leaving the Bell Center and they have a paper bag with whatever food the chefs provided for them that they can take home. I imagine it wasn't like that back in the day for you guys, but were you like starving after the games? Did you guys go for a meal afterwards, or what was the sort of routine?
Yeah, I couldn't eat right away, or I couldn't drink beer right away. The two things I couldn't do right away. I had to drink water and whatever. And then we would go to Da Vinci's usually after the game and have a couple beers, and then I'd eat. Yeah, I get hungry afterwards, but not right away. I couldn't eat or drink. One thing I couldn't do. When I got to New York, we never had beer in the locker room in Montreal, only if you won the cup.
But I did see you eat. Sorry, I did see you eat a few souvlaki around 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Kojaks.
That was 3 in the morning. That was 3, 4 in the morning. That was like 5 hours after the game. And
You had to wait behind me because I was there first in line.
I had time to, I had time to get hungry. But when I got to New York, I remember the first game I'm there, and the beer gets broken out in the room. We won a game, and I'm like, hey, you want a beer? I'm there. No, thanks. I just couldn't. It just didn't appeal to me right after a game. And guys drank all the time after games, and I'm like, yeah, no. Listen, when we were on the road, I did have a little bag, like a lot of guys did, and have the away trainer throw a 6-pack in there for me, and we'd have it on the bus if we're going to the airport or whatever. But right in the room and stuff right after, I couldn't do it. And I eventually, say about an hour and a half, 2 hours after the game, I really hungry.
I know the Bell Center hot dogs are pretty good. They're not as good as the old Forum hot dogs, where you'll see in the media room healthy scratches from other teams are always wanting the hot dogs. I guess back in the day, Rick, were Forum hot dogs a big thing with you guys?
Yeah, they were tough to beat, and providing you kept them down to about 4 per sitting, then you were able to digest it. But yeah, they, for whatever reason, I don't know, must have been all the salt or nitrates in it. But it you wash that down with a nice Coca-Cola, you're good to go.
Chien Chio, tout garni.
Did you guys have to wait in line at Kojak's at 3 in the morning? I imagine you guys got to go right to the front.
I used to have to knock on because they closed at 3, and I'd have to knock on the door and push my face against the window and have whoever the cook was come running out from the back going, "Come on in, quick!" So he'd open the door for us, and a few of the boys would go in and chow down the leftovers, and then out we'd go straight home.
Yeah, Shelly. Once Shelly showed face, forget it. They were like, we go in there and just eat like pigs. 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, a sad day when that Kojak's location on St. Catherine Street closed, but some great memories for players and fans lining up there in the wee hours of the morning after the Crescent Street bar is closed. Anyway, that's it for this bonus episode, our last one for this week. We'll be back with our weekly Hockey Inside Out show on Wednesday. In the meantime, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. And in case you didn't already know, Hockey Inside Out is also available now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so you can watch us there.